All right, phone on the stand. Let's rotate it. And oh boy, I'm gonna have to really bring this back. There we go. Okay. Do you guys have a look at everything? Yep. All right, cool. All right, so let me get over there and then we'll have a chat. All right. Hey guys, this is my professional security journal. This is video number 2 of the evening. We made 2 or 3 videos in the morning. I day slept before mole patrol. And so here we are in our final hours as Cascadia, Las Vegas. Video number 1 a couple minutes back was about more or less the channel format, some updates and whatnot. So again, I know I made 2 or 3 videos in the morning. Here we are, 2, 3 more videos in the evening. And this is going to be the last video of today. So this is going to be a companion piece to a LinkedIn article that I'm going to be writing. So that LinkedIn article, as soon as I'm done writing it, it'll be thrown in the YouTube it'll be thrown in the YouTube description box. Because like I said, this video is more or less a companion piece to a written article that I'm going to be doing. So as soon as that written article's done and it's put out to LinkedIn, I'm going to come back into this YouTube video and we'll update the YouTube with the LinkedIn article. All right, so I have ASP Ultra Plus chain cuffs. And then I have ASP Ultra Plus hinged handcuffs. Now, I am an ASP instructor, so I say that in certain videos to more or less disclose there may be a sense of biasism. There may be a sense of bias here. Because I'm an ASP instructor, logically, the connotation is, well, of course he's going to like their products. He's an instructor for them. He's one of their instructors. His credentials through them. Well, this is where we get into that. So let's step out of handcuffs for a second and talk about my relationship with ASP. Simply put, unlike gun tubers and whatnot out there, I do not take money from ASP. My private security instructor credential is through ASP, and I have no sponsorships. I do not receive monetary value for them. They don't even know who I am. Outside of obviously having an instructor ID number with them, they don't know me. I've never been to a SHOT show. It's not like I can walk up to them and be like, "Oh, hey, it's you." So with that being kept in mind, let's step back into handcuffs here. So most of you know I wear a Peacekeeper RCB rapid containment baton on my duty belt. Why? Why did I move on from ASP in batons? Because during my instructor course, 3-4 years ago at this point, during my instructor course, I saw 3 to 4 batons bend and break right there in the manufacturer instructor course. And it led me to essentially not trust the organization in their batons anymore. So I did some research after my apartment fire happened. And that's when I came across the Peacekeeper. And I'm like, I freaking love this baton. So that's why I carry Peacekeeper. It's simply not being able to trust the equipment. I didn't trust at my ASP Talon duty baton to not bend or not break as far as the shaft retention or whatever. I did not trust the product, so I went and got myself something more stout, something more rigid, something that I could trust personally on duty, and that's what led me to the RCB. Now, why do I love ASP handcuffs? Because, first of all, the keyholes are on both sides. I'm trying to get the handcuff in the video, I'm sorry. Handcuff keyhole is on both sides. Their newer ASP Ultra Pluses do not double lock with a pin. So, let me go grab my handcuff keys off the duty belt that's sitting on a table behind me. You don't need to sit here and pinhole the handcuff to double lock it. It double locks using these yellow buttons. So, funnily enough, I'm going to end up handcuffing myself here. So, the handcuff is loaded. So now, all I need to do is press this yellow button, and it will not, and now with the yellow button, it is double locked. It will not tighten on my wrist. And then, if I can get the key, this whatchamacallit into the keyhole. Man, doing that on video, or doing that while you're filming one-handed is not fun. That was a little rough. That was a little rough filming there. So, that's why I like ASP handcuffs, is A, the keyhole is on both sides, and B, the Ultra Pluses double lock with that button. So very handy feature. But for demonstrational purposes, I just wanted to bring out these handcuffs for context. Now the remaining part of this video and the main part of this video is going to be a case for trifolds. So you can see here, I kind of made a little arrangement. So this video is a case for soft restraints. And by a case for soft restraints, I don't mean a pouch or holster for soft restraints. I'm making an argument for why I feel private security should really think about carrying soft restraints, disposable restraints, soft cuffs, flex cuffs. There's 4 million different names for these products. So this video, the rest of this video is a case for trifolds. This is what ASP calls their disposable soft restraints. They call them trifolds. So you'll see here, I have one with they call it a presentation band or retention band. I forget which one of the two. So this is what it looks like closed, and this is what it looks like open. So, the arm goes through either hole, or the hand goes through either hole, and then you pull on the yellow dongle here at the top. You pull on the yellow dongle, and that handcuffs the person. Now, full disclosure, I'm making this video and I'm making an argument to carry trifolds. I have not carried trifolds myself in some time. The only time I'll carry trifolds is when I'm in either my suited security position or when I'm in a concealed carry role, like when I had to guard a doctor's office a couple weeks back and I was in plain clothes, I was in normal people clothes, and I was concealed carrying. I don't carry trifolds on duty for one very important reason. That's because I don't have cutters for my restraints at the moment. So like if I had to use these in the line of duty right now, I'm gonna hope either LVMPD when they come to the scene, I'm hoping LVMPD either has special flex cuff cutters, the proper cutters for flex cuffs, and this is what they look like collapsed as I drop them. This is what they look like collapsed. So you saw them open. This is what they look like collapsed, and this is why I normally have a retention band, is otherwise they get all everywhere. So if I can properly close these, geez. Yep, there it goes. So for now, these will go here. Now they're put away. All right, so yes, for now, if I use trifolds, I have to hope to God Metro either has the trifold flex cuff cutters, the actual cutters made for restraints, or I hope somebody has trauma shears. Because what you're supposed to do is, Tommy from Free Field Training actually has a very good video, and I'm going to actually have to find that and link it in the description. So you'll find not only my LinkedIn article, but you'll find a Free Field Training link in the description soon enough. He said, using trauma shears, you cut at the apex of the restraint. So for the apex for ASP, I believe, would basically be at the top of these ridges here. So you cut the you'd cut the restraint at the apex at the top, and that's how you would release your subject/suspect, your subject or suspect from custody. That's how you would release them from the restraints, is you'd cut at the apex. All right, putting them away once again. So I'm basically adding a lot of filler to this video. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Why do I feel private security should think about soft restraints? Well, first of all, there is a time and place for metal handcuffs. Metal handcuffs are good. But for the most part, when you're private security, and we can get into the argument in another video about citizens arrest versus detention versus detain versus arresting versus you don't have the authority to do that, etc. So please save those arguments. Let me put it to you this way, and here's my belief, even though it may not be legally correct. Private security officers in the state of Nevada, I used to be able to recite the law number. I think it's like NRS 131 dot something. Private persons or private persons arrest, I think, is what the legal verbiage is within that law. We do not make arrests. We do make arrests. We make private persons, private citizens arrests. But at the end of the day, Las Vegas Metro PD, Henderson PD, whatever agency in Clark County that shows up to that call, they have the ultimate authority. It is their final say on that arrest. So they could choose not to take your how do I word it? They can choose not to arrest your subject, suspect, detainee, there was another word that I was going to say, but I forgot it on the fly. It escaped me at the tip of my tongue. They can choose not to take your person. So, again, it may not be legally correct, but at the end of the day, in the state of Nevada, with what I know, if I use these, or if I even use metal handcuffs, I am detaining that person, and it's a transfer of custody to Las Vegas Metro, Henderson PD, whatever jurisdiction I'm actively in as I'm working that security post. It's a detain for law enforcement. Again, and I'm beating the point home in this video. It may not be legally correct, but at the end of the day, I am detaining people for law enforcement, because law enforcement has the ultimate authority, the ultimate say in the state of Nevada of whether or not they take the person I've handcuffed. So essentially, no matter what your argument is, as private security, you're not throwing somebody in the back of a patrol car. You're not transporting them to Clark County Detention Center in downtown Las Vegas. You're not throwing somebody into a cage and transporting them for processing. That's law enforcement. So you can argue my verbiage, you can argue my terms, no matter how legally incorrect they are. You're detaining the person for law enforcement. You are making a transfer of custody to law enforcement, and that's why in my brain for the longest time, I feel I don't need to carry metal handcuffs. I feel metal handcuffs for private security, possibly a hot take here, metal handcuffs for private security are worthless. Because all you're doing is you're throwing this big honky heavy object on your duty belt with the proper pouch, proper holster, whatever you want to call it. You have to find duty belt space, etc. And then you have to worry about, and here's the other thing, you have to worry about getting your handcuffs back from the law enforcement authority, from the law enforcement agency, the LEA. You have to worry about getting your handcuffs back from the LEA. Now, asp guys are not cheap. They're like $70 to $90 a pair. So I got what 9? Let's say they're $90. They're 9, 18, 27, $36 or 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. I got $360 worth of handcuffs on this table right now. 4 pairs at $90 each. All right, this video is going to go over 15 minutes. Fine. I'll try and wrap this up. So yes, I have to worry about getting these handcuffs back from the law enforcement agency. Whereas I use trifolds, okay? They're softer. they're softer. So comfort for subjects, you may or may not care about. You may or may not care about the comfort of your detainee. But trifolds are more preferable for the subject, suspect, detainee, whatever. They're more comfortable for the subject. They're smaller. They're easier to carry around. But most importantly, for private security, I can use these. I can throw them on somebody, and I can flat out go, "Here you go, officer. Here's your prisoner." And now all law enforcement needs to do is throw them. Law enforcement will use their proper metal handcuffs. They'll either cut your restraints off, or they'll keep them on and they'll let the jail cut them off. But with trifold, I don't have to worry about getting my handcuffs back from that law enforcement agency, and at the same time, it's just easier all the way around. But here's the big asterisk with what I'm proposing to private security professionals here in this video. Sorry, I'm loading the handcuff again since I've been playing with it. These require training. So find out where your local ASP AIC instructor's at. Get proper training in trifolds, flex cuffs, whatever you want to call them. That's the big asterisk with these, is they require training. Now, most private security officers don't care about training. I get that. But these, hinged and chain, also require training. You should be getting proper training, which I know 99% of private security companies, private security employers don't offer the proper training. But yes, you should be properly trained in hinged and chain, and then these require more in-depth special training. So there's the big asterisk within this video. There's a 4 type of handcuff, the rigid handcuff. There's rigid, which is literally just rigid. It's a fixed handcuff position. So the rigid handcuffs are more like hinged, but it's a solid bar. So they're either going to be basically a straight square. They're either going to be straight solid, or they do make rigid folding handcuffs. But that's the 4th pair. That's the 4th type of handcuff. I have 3 out of the 4 handcuffs for you folks for your contextual purposes of this video. I have three out of the 4 different types of handcuffs on this table for you within this video. Trifolds, flex cuffs, soft restraints, chain, and hinged. Rigids are not on this table. That would be the last type of handcuff. So that was my argument for trifolds. That was my argument for handcuffs in general. This video is more or less your argument of why I feel private security should be leaning more towards soft restraints, albeit with that big asterisk, because I know that's basically a thing that's going to get thrown out within the comments. That's going to be the thing that people use to shoot my argument down is, well, yeah, they require training. Well, yes, they do require training, but so do these 2 types of handcuffs. Just most security employers don't give a shit. Most security employers don't properly train their folks in the proper usage and proper deployment of mechanical restraints / handcuffs. These do require more in-depth training. Yes, I understand that. So anyways, guys, Sean just went live. Without further ado, let me cut the video so I can go watch Sean. This is Mike here, Professional Security Journal. You guys stay safe out there. Take it easy. Take pride in all you do. Stay situationally aware. Stay vigilant. Stay frosty. And other than that, I'm going to go watch Sean now. See you guys in the next video.